Okay, if you look at page 9 of your handout, there we go, you'll see that we've taken all these tasks, and instead of having them just as a straight laundry list like we did on the last video, by the end of this video we're going to have them indented to show that the indented tasks are part of a larger task. And this is going to go all the way up. You can see there's a straight line here. These are going to feed all the way up to the main project, or to the project, which is creating a database. So here we go. Now we did this in class. In the beginning it can be a little bit strange, but it's actually not too tough. Creating a database is the main project, so we're going to leave it here. We're not going to decompose it at all. We're not going to do any decomposition on it. But this next one, phase 1 requirement analysis, that's a deliverable. That's part of the main project. So I'm going to indent it one level. And now look, when I indented this, creating a database, the project gets a minus sign. So I can open this and show its subtasks. I'm going to do the same thing with requirement analysis. I'm going to indent it one level. But if you look at the sheet, and I will click over on this time, I want to get this minus sign here. What it means is I want to have sub-deliverables for requirement analysis. So I come back here. I can't force it onto requirement analysis. The only way to get that, the only way it will have that is if it has smaller tasks that associate with it. So I take business need, and now when I indent it twice, business need is part of requirement analysis. So when I can hide it if I want to. I can just look at requirement analysis. If I need more detail, I can see the tasks that contribute to requirement analysis. And I'll do the same thing here with end of phase 1. I'm going to indent that. There it goes. And it's part of requirement analysis. Phase 2, conceptual design. I'll click back over here. That needs to be indented also. So I highlight the cell. I come up to my my indent arrow, and I indent it one time. Come back here, and conceptual. I need to indent also conceptual design. And when I come back to the file, I see that conceptual design has 2 subtasks: creating ERD and end of phase 2. So I'm going to come over to these, indent it twice. Okay, and now I've got this minus sign with conceptual design. And end of phase 2, I'm going to click that over as well. Now, have you noticed anything about these durations? Creating a database now takes 9 days. And that's because conceptual design takes 9 days. If conceptual design takes 9 days, creating a database cannot finish before then. For example, when we make normalization part of creating a database, this will change to 12 days. So the project cannot be completed until the tasks in it are completed. So once this becomes a task of creating a database, the duration will increase to 12 days. Come back over here. We've got, I think we're up to logical design. Phase 3 logical design, we need to indent once. So I'm going to indent that. Come back to the template, and I can see logical design. I also need to indent. So I'm going to indent logical design. And now I'm just going to go all the way through this list and indent as I need to. Normalization and end of phase 3 need to be indented twice. Normalization and end of phase 3. And now I can see that log design takes 12 days. That's because normalization takes 12 days. And when I recompose it, logical design is decomposed into normalization and end of phase 3. So logical design takes 12 days. That means that creating a database also takes 12 days. I can't complete that any faster than 12 days, because to create the database, I must do the logical design. I'm up to phase 4 analysis now, and when I look at phase 4, this is indented once, and analysis is indented once. So I'm going to indent it. analysis, I'll indent it. I come down to the next one, analysis of the needs and end of phase 4. Sorry, analysis of the normalized. There's a keystroke, and there are faster ways to do this, but let's just get through the basics on this one. We'll make sure that we know exactly how to make these Gantt charts and organize the tasks into phases, and then we'll worry about shortcuts. Phase 5, physical design and physical design are both indented 1. End of phase 5, I don't remember. End of phase 5 is also indented twice. Phase 6 implementation is indented 1 level. Implementation is indented 1 level. Transferring data is indented twice. Training staff is indented twice. And project finish is indented once. Okay, so there we have it. We've got all these tasks divided into phases. So we've got phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, and phase 6. And I'm going to stop the video here. What we'll do next is we will link the tasks, and that will change the start date. And of course, well, maybe not of course, but once we change the start date, we're going to change the duration as well. So what we did here was we just used these indent buttons, and we made the tasks into phases, and we made them dependent on one another. So requirement analysis is now dependent on a business need and the end of phase 1. Once these two are finished, business need and end of phase 1, then requirement analysis is finished. Once requirement analysis, conceptual design, logical design, analysis, physical design, and implementation are finished, those all give us the final project, the top level of the work breakdown structure, creating a database. So we've just decomposed everything into phases.